She drove everyone away with her fantasy Twilight world, and the only one who gave her any human contact was Samurai. And I don't really even know if that counts as human contact.
What a man! He's not human!
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact. And it's totally science. Go ahead, look it up. Thanks so much. We've got another Neckbeard story in here today. I've been told that it is quote-unquote completely unhinged. And yeah, that's about all it takes to get me interested. I'm a bit unhinged myself. So we'll see how far off the rails we can get today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into this thing. Samurai and the Wolf. There are two wolves inside you. Both of them are gay. You are gay.
I can't control the beast inside!
Characters: Wolfie, a leg beard; Samurai, a neck beard; Mickey, my friend, and myself, OP. Nice, succinct. I just hope that we don't have to do it with any ooh-woo XD type of stuff, but probably with a leg beard and a neck beard in the story, it's somewhat inevitable.
Valor, X3, what's this? A wolf? Let's have a little look-see here.
OP says, I am a traditional nerd. Weebs and beard culture didn't really exist in my high school in 2008 to 2012. I really didn't learn about it until college. Oh, trust me, they existed, OP. They're just hiding in the math room playing Magic the Gathering. Facts to know before the story. I grew up with my dad on Kurosawa films, doing martial arts, and my grandfather is full-blooded Cherokee. For some reason, these useless facts would ruin my life in senior year. Dang, Cherokee Nation really getting it in, huh? We just had another OP with a Cherokee mother. I think that was the smiley Joker thing we did a day or so ago. But indeed, tell us, how did it ruin your life, OP? Mickey, Samurai, and I were all on the same bus, as we were literally the 1, 2, 3 bus stops on the route in the mornings, and the last 3 to be dropped off at night. Samurai was 2 years my junior, and we hadn't spoken during my junior year. He was about 5'10", very slim, and had jet black, spiky hair. He wore thick glasses and had a face covered in acne. He was very quiet, except for a few times that he made bizarre laughs and over-sexualized comments toward what Mickey and I were talking about. That's what she said! Yes, hilarious. Anyway, Mickey and I would egg him on, until our lovely, patient bus driver, who was a retired grandma around 75, finally lost her cool and told us nicely to shut the hell up, boys, which sent Mickey into hysterical laughs under his breath. That poor, sweet woman. I'm not buying the sweet thing, honestly. That's just a front. I had a bus driver just like this, and I got kicked off the bus permanently in 8th grade for leading a rendition of the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. Everybody was having a good time, except the bus driver, and apparently that's my problem. Most likely, due to Mickey, we got a seating chart for 12th grade. My seat buddy turned out to be Samurai. Our first morning back, he was wearing a 7 Samurai shirt, and I remarked how much I loved that movie. He responded, yes, that's the movie that began my training. Oh, cool. I questioned training, like martial arts? I did a few myself in schools, and my dad taught me Jeet Kune Do. My uncle's a Taekwondo master. Martial arts is really big in my family. Samurai asked, is that from Japan? I said, no, it's Kung Fu mixed with kickboxing. It's what Bruce Lee did. Samurai, smirking, responded, Chinese garbage. I was taken aback and just sat the rest of the ride completely quiet. We got to school and went our separate ways. Well, good on you for trying to make a connection with your seat buddy, sharing a little bit about yourself, and then he basically just spit in your face. Okay, fine. The social contract has been torn up now. We are now officially enemies. I got on the bus, and Samurai asked me, in all your little martial arts, did you study the blade? The blade. I said, no, Jeet Kune Do's Chinese street fighting. I've always wanted to get into HEMA or fencing, though. He again mocked me. Fencing is for fruit gushers. Trying to be cute, I remarked, well, they are men who know how to use a blade, and I smiled. This was not the correct response, and he went off, telling me a very inaccurate history of Japan and the blade. To which I corrected him and explained that the katana was not favored on the battlefield. It was a secondary weapon. Like every other army, they use spears and nodochi, which is the hand-and-a-half sword of Japan, or the bow. With every parry of his extensive knowledge of history, he became redder and redder. I mean, I don't know who's right and who's wrong. It doesn't really matter to me. It seems like some hardcore nerd shit, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it's not the type of nerd shit that I get into, generally. This feels like an episode of Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV, except there are no animations or interesting graphics. It's just two nerds yelling at each other about the blade. It's really weird. I want to get off the bus now.
This shit I'm out. No thanks.
Nobody talk to me. I'm just trying to nuzlocke my way through Pokemon Platinum. See, it's a different brand of nerd shit. Is it as cool or practical as martial arts knowledge? Probably not, but at least I don't shove it down other people's throats. Make it a pissing contest about who knows about the history of ancient Japanese weapons. It's just a really weird thing to attach your sense of self to, you know? OP says, it became a game of let's see if we can give Samurai a heart attack. I mean, that shouldn't be too hard. Look at him sucking down those quarter-pounder greaseball burgers. You should just start making things up. Be like, oh yeah, Samurai used claymores regularly. Two-handed battle axes were their weapon of choice. Fuck it. If you want to talk a bunch of trash, I can talk way more trash than you. I was being a super douche. I will not even try to defend myself on this. I don't know if it's really even that douchey. It's more just a bunch of actually. If you get personally offended by that, I can't help you. But OP says, I was 17, and his cult-like love of the TV show Japan brought me so much joy in what had been a very boring day. Yeah, well, here comes the spice. We're gonna kick it up a notch. Bam! This ended with the words, the katana was kind of trash. Japan had much better weapons. I think that's OP saying it, but the beard voice still fits. As I walked off the bus, our conversation, which was happening at a low to normal speaking tone, ended with him screaming incoherently at me, almost skipping off the bus. Like literally skipping? Let me tell you something, son. 17, 18 years old? It's a little too old to be skipping, okay? The bus driver looked at both of us, dumbfounded. Miss Becky, I love you. I'm so sorry. I'll tell you right now, she don't care about this interaction one little bit. I'm just trying to get home in time to watch Wheel of Fortune. And then Jeopardy comes on afterwards, and oh, it's such a delight. Sometimes I get the answers right. I bet I could go on that show and make lots of money. The next morning, I arrived to a go sit with Maddie, and Samurai, you're sitting in a single seat. Miss Becky had placed Samurai in the back by himself, and it would be a few weeks until we interacted again. Oh, Miss Becky is looking out. All right. 2008 to 2012 were very hard times in the US. You had the housing collapse, Justin Bieber, and worst of all, the height of the Twilight books. They're that old already? Man, I should get into them. I do love decade-old literature. Quote-unquote literature. It was indeed a dark, dark, stupid age where 40-something teachers would show weird Mormon videos to teenagers and talk about how hot the teenage wolf boys were. Dark, dark times. OP just sitting over there looking shell-shocked. This was my awakening, and I didn't want it to be this way. None of us did, son. I'm sorry this had to happen to you. My senior year, I did nothing. It was a year of electives and taking the one English class I needed to graduate. Mickey was basically on the same path as I, and the man, for all of his class clownisms, was actually a genius. Yeah, gifted kids don't have to work too hard, so they have time to concentrate on all this other bullshit. Trust me, I know. He and I would work together the first 30 minutes of class on whatever task and would be bored for the rest of the class. Mickey was not intellectually stimulated by our dumpy, underfunded school. This led to a policy of, just keep him busy. And so the teachers would continually send Mickey on some random errand. Yeah, the public school system, everybody. Now, Mickey was dangerous, unsupervised, so they sent me as his emotional support animal. It worked for us, and hey, I got out of class. I find it interesting that Mickey is gifted, but also doesn't have any emotional control. Those two things generally don't seem to mesh, but yeah, I'm glad you got out of class. I'm all about that too. We were sent on one of these errands by our science teacher, Miss G.
Is that Miss G?
Yes?
I heard you got a stinky poop.
We arrived at the office, and as we opened the door, we could hear yelling from the speakerphone in the AP's office. The school secretary waved us over. Hey, babies. Now sit your tail down, young lady. I will not tell you again. I think you've caused enough trouble for one day. Whoa, what a tone shift. In the corner sat a chubby redhead with long, greasy hair and a wolf t-shirt. She was humming to herself. I'm sorry, what you need? We pointed at the AP's office and said, Miss G sent this huge stack of papers for AP. She told us to sit and that he was on conference. So we sat in the chairs opposite of this girl. She spoke up. Hey, I'm Wolfie. What are you in for? I said, we aren't in trouble. We're just running an errand.
Oh yeah, I bit someone. They told me I'm not a werewolf.
Who is they? And also, yes. You bit someone, dude? Bullying does need to make a comeback. We can still fix this. You just gotta nudge her back towards social norms. Or maybe it's not fixable. Maybe you just send her to the special class. I don't really know. Mickey whispered to me, bro, that's Wolf Girl. Dude, that's Samurai's girlfriend. He then got that look. That one that said, I'm gonna mess with her. I said, dude, leave it alone. She's in enough trouble. And she said,
You ride the bus with my boyfriend. He said he told you about me.
Mickey yells, yeah, he told me about the weird sex acts y'all do. Subtle. The secretary, no, sir. You want to talk to the AP? Mickey, sorry, ma'am. Wolfie quietly said,
It's all true.
She looks at me.
Are you Indian?
Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
I said, yeah, I'm 1/4, but I wasn't raised in it. She goes,
What tribe?
Cherokee.
Oh my gosh, me too.
What a coinky dink. She points to her wolf shirt, and I said, oh, cool. She said,
Do you know you're a werewolf?
huh?
A skinwalker, like in Twilight. All my family are werewolves.
Mickey goes, no, we're vampires. And hisses at her. Damn, this is a big boatload of cringe, isn't it? It's like you think you're getting one up on the leg beard or the neck beard, but in the process, you're only showing the depths of your own beardery. And I do understand, you're still allowed to be sort of weird at 17, 18, but yeah, let's get it figured out a little more, huh? What I'm trying to say is do not hiss at another human being in public, basically ever, all right? She gets this weird smile on her face and starts to growl. Oh my god, my spine is powdering. Mickey leans in and hisses in her face, and then she cold cocks him right in the face, to which Mickey laughs, and then she tries to bite him. What the hell? Mickey, realizing he went too far, bolts out of the office. Not a bad, there really is no winning move in that situation. You probably shouldn't have hissed in the first place, given into her delusions. The person that guaranteed it was unhinged, like, 100% correct. This is wild as shit. So yeah, Mickey bolts out of the office, and the secretary who was on the phone looks up and yells, "Oh shit, Hank! Hank, get out here!" I made it to the door, and Mickey's halfway down the hall. Wolfie is on top of him, scratching his face, barking, and gorilla punching Mickey. So what did we learn? The AP runs out, grabs Wolfie, and holds her against the wall. "Wolfie, I have your father on the phone, and you make me come out here for this?" To Mickey, he says, "You good boy?" And Mickey laughs and says, "Oh, yes, sir. You boys go back to class." Mickey then hisses at Wolfie again. Answer to what did we learn? Nothing. We learned nothing. We walk back to class and Mickey chuckles. "Oh man, she's quick for a big girl." Maybe you're just really slow for a manlet. I don't know. This is some of that good double-edged cringe, you know what I'm saying? You get the cringe from two beards and then also the OP and his friend doing some really weird stuff. You'll love to see it, honestly. It puts a smile on my face like nothing else does. So great suggestion from anonymous user. We'll continue on into the next part and see how that goes, because surely it can't be as unhinged as this part. Surely. Let's find out. It is unhinged, and don't call me Shirley. Samurai and the Wolf 2. Characters, same. So by the afternoon, the whole school had heard about the office incident, due in no small part to Mickey telling every living soul about our werewolf hunt, as he jokingly called it. Dude, again, you're giving in to the delusion. She's going to bring a knife to school. Probably don't play this game with people who are clearly not mentally well. Wolfie was now an urban legend to the underclassmen, and we were now school legends, well, for like a day. Cool. Make sure they etch that one onto your tombstone. OP, werewolf hunter, for like a day. Mickey, along with about half the bus, started to make jokes about Wolfie, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't join in, to which we were very wrong. I mean, not overly so. She assaulted your friend. However, what happened next hit me like a ton of bricks. In our joking and storytelling, we didn't see Samurai enter the bus. Oh no, he's gonna teleport behind you. Oh my wabo shinderu! Nani?
Nothing personal, kid.
He quietly walked past us and sat, listening in the back seat. About 3 minutes of our joking was enough. He jumped up and bum rushed us. He's defending his milady's honor. This is a neckbeard in his most dangerous form. Do not take this threat lightly. He stuck a finger in my face and yelled, "You're trying to steal my wife. She told me you tried to mate with her. I don't care if you do have wolf's blood. She's mine." Dude, what the... what? She's obviously told you something that didn't happen in order to make herself seem more attractive. Nobody wanted to mate with her. We wanted to be left alone. How on earth do you even respond to that? Asks OP. I'd suggest the thing I just said. For the first time in my life, I truly had nothing to say. Mickey tried to help me by stating, "Don't be mad that their pups will be purebreds." Oh, thank you, Mick. Thank you so much. Yeah, not really helping the situation. He's gonna end up getting his ass kicked by Samurai while he just lays on the floor and laughs and bleeds. Everyone in these stories is just really weird.
What is wrong with you people?
I don't know what to think anymore. Samurai went to charge us again when Miss Becky boarded and yelled, "Hey, Samurai, to your seat." Everyone was still laughing and carrying on about the situation. Yeah, now Samurai's gonna sit there and seethe for the entire ride home. You don't want to be there when the explosion happens. I'm telling you, neckbeards get real crazy about their miladies. Especially when all those hormones flowing around and stuff. Anyway, slowly, the students were dropped off until we were all but 5. Samurai left his seat and came up behind Mickey and I. He said, "OP, you have no honor." I looked at him and said, "Kapla," sarcastically. And if you don't know, Kapla is Klingon for success. It just adds a whole, it's so many layers to this. He said, "Fine, if we won't settle this like gentlemen, we can settle it as warriors. The field between our trailer parks." "Be there Saturday morning, and I shall give you a warrior's death." Okay, my suspension of disbelief is completely snapped. The trailer parks thing is what broke me. I've never known Reddit authors to openly admit something like that. You're pulling my leg, right? This statement led to laughter, even from Miss Becky, to which I thought, "So we aren't going to do anything about this psycho saying that he's going to kill me? Okay, I guess not. Okay." I just looked at him and shrugged. He eyeballed me for the rest of the ride and spoke what I think were threats in Japanese. "Yeah, dude, he's got teleport right behind you. Nothing personnel, kid. Bam!" Are we really going to get a beard fight? I hope you do show up, OP. I hope he doesn't bring a sword or some weird shit like that. "Settle this with a round of fisticuffs like a true gentleman. Oh, have you no honor?" And he's like, "I got so much honor. Look at all the honor I have." What does it even mean? So Monday morning came, and this man looked straight at my face and asked, "Where were you?" "Oh, you didn't show up? Oh, P, you weenie." Come on. Then again, y'all do live in trailer parks, so if you were killed in cold blood, the police probably wouldn't look too deeply at it. Lots to ponder. OP explained that he had a fantastic weekend, had breakfast with mom, played some video games, got a ton of homework done, and Samurai said, "I knew you feared me." I asked, "Well, wait, did you really think that I was gonna show?" And he cried, "I wasted 4 hours waiting alone in the field for you." I burst into laughter at this and just shook my head. Madison, my seat partner who'd been absent Friday, just looked at me with limitless confusion. "No, sit down. Explain to her how you punked out." "You shouldn't speak Klingon anymore, OP. You keep the warrior tongue out of your mouth." Honestly, I probably wouldn't have shown up either. If you want to fight me right here, right now. Let's just get it over with. You don't set it up like it's a date, weirdo. Even Mickey looked worried. The thought of this 75-pound weeb standing what I presume is shirtless in a field and waiting 4 hours for a man to come fight him. You are painting quite a picture. Over a 15-year-old girl who tried to maul his friend and who wanted to birth a litter of werewolves from his Indian blood. It just boggles my mind. It honestly brings me endless laughs and joy some 12 years later. Some of the most ludicrous stuff I've ever read on the channel. I'm living for it. Samurai was still brooding that I would not fight him, and this lasted for a few weeks. I was surprised when he came to me about 3 weeks later with a heartfelt apology and then a proposal. And I do mean proposal. Samurai said, "Wolfie told me that I was wrong to attack one of her kind. She told me that if I wanted to be with her, I need to leave you two alone." Oh, this is turning into a cuckold situation. This is... There's so many layers. I thought, who two alone? And he said, "I was told to deliver you this letter. The letter was from Wolfie, and it explained that we were Cherokee skinwalkers, and that there were very few of our kind left. She proposed that her and I have a litter, and that Samurai could raise them and be the protector of our pack. What the fuck? I can't do this anymore, man.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
I think I'm just too old and too tired, and I don't even want to imagine these things. It's only part 2! We're only halfway done. How much further can we go? OP says my skin crawled at this letter. My mouth agape, I just handed the letter to Mickey, and Mickey just shook his head. This was not funny anymore, and we both realized that these psychos were not playing around. I mean, what was your first clue? The letter, I guess. At least you're finally trying to wind it back. Hopefully the second half will be escape from these maniacs. Samurai walked back to his seat. I held the letter up and tore it into 1,000,000 pieces while he peered at me with rage. I just, is this really something you wanted, man? This third-party consent type of thing? I don't know, that sort of skeeves me out a lot. Some background on Cherokee skinwalkers. There is no such thing. Are you sure? Firstly, most Cherokee are actually Christians and hate any of the old magics. Secondly, even in those tribes that have skinwalkers/changers, it's not really seen as a positive thing. Her mythology was about as good as her BF history. BF meaning boyfriend, I guess? I mean, I thought we were maxed out on the crazy dial, but with the delivery of that letter, it was definitely turned up to 11. Does Samurai know what's in the letter? I guess he does. I don't know if I need to leave you two alone equates to I'm going to have his child, his litter. But Samurai, yeah, he's complicit at the very least. It's all fun and games until you're whelping somebody else's pups, you know? Oh, this is so amazing. Psychotic. I don't even know how to feel. I have to read more, so let's jump into the third part. Samurai and the Wolf, Part 3. Characters, the same. I thought we were safe. My refusal of the lycanthropic cuckolding seemed for a time to resolve the matter. Again, I did not have classes with either beard, nor any common friends. Both were complete outcasts due to their insane debauchery. Honestly, good. If you're not gonna bully them, the least you could do is ostracize them, you know? Look at what anime has done to these children. Tisk, tisk.
Don't f with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Wait, until one night, when I received a text, I'm in the house. Joking. No, it read, hello, husband, I love you. And I responded, sorry, wrong number. The number said, no, OP, I know it's you. I said, ha, very funny. Now, who is this? It came back as a blocked number. Okay, that's really weird. Who else do you know that's stalking you at this moment, OP? There's really only one suspect, isn't there? A few weeks later, I came home to a package on my doorstep. I opened it, and it was a wolf shirt with a dream catcher and a native warrior, and the note read, from your beloved. I carried it into the house. My dad was in the living room. Boy, what you got there? The werewolf girl bought me a wolf shirt. He looked at me seriously. Did she bite you? And cracked a smirk. I said, not yet. And she wants me to father her litter of pups. My dad said, is she hot? Terrible joke. I don't know if it's a joke. I said, she's really freaking me out, Dad. His laugh went away and he got serious. Do you need me to do something? No, sir. I got it. She isn't dangerous. He said, I'll buy silver bullets after work, just in case. And he winked. I said, "Don't tell Mom. Mom is crazy. Mom will turn into John Wick." I mean, there's only one target, so that seems like problem solved. This is the point where I really would have liked the dad to say, "Hey son, don't ever stick your dick in crazy, okay? I don't know if you need this advice now or sometime later on down the line, but I'm gonna tell you right now, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it." Opie says, "Honestly, I didn't know what to do. My school's administration was great, but it's sort of like being robbed by a guy in a Barney costume."
Hey, you are Hey, where's my money? Get your money, man. I'll get it by Monday, man.
What a great visual. How do you even begin to explain that situation? What did he look like? Well, he was a 7-foot purple click. Hello? How do I explain to 2 Vietnam veterans that a werewolf wants to have my babies without being committed? So I just ignored it and tried to run out the clock until graduation. It really is only going to escalate from here. You're not gonna like what happens next. I have no idea what happens next, but I don't think I'm gonna like it either. I kept finding letters on my desk in 3 of my classes. They were carbon copies of the one that I ripped up in front of Samurai. There were plans for our future and where we would make our den. And Samurai just stands outside and guards the front door. This is so weird. The only thing I could think of is the Whatakers, but like werewolf. It was a strange place to be. These people were absolutely no physical threat to me. I really don't think that they would commit terrible acts, and yeah, physically there was no contest between them and I. Mickey said that being attacked by Wolfie was like being in a pillow fight. She didn't have an ounce of muscle behind her punch, and honestly, I was even less impressed with Samurai's fighting ability. But their slow, simple harassment was starting to wear on me. I was just over the whole situation. Yeah, why not shoot a load in her and be done with it? Oh no, that's only going to be the start. Is it such a good plan to just run the clock out? Why can't we just address it directly? They probably won't listen. But at least, report it to somebody, get the paper trail started, nice little restraining order. That might seem like too far, but we don't know what she's capable of, and this is definitely going to escalate. Probably just best to nip it right in the bud, right? Unbeknownst to me, it was Mickey who went to the office. He got our friend Mr. H, the AP, involved, and he conducted a search of her locker. It was a treasure trove of stupidity and madness. This wolf had tried everything from love letters, stalking, and finally magic to get me to fall in love with her.
I saw this spell on TikTok. It's totally gonna work. There.
I guess this story's too old for TikTok. Whatever. Her intel gathering put the CIA to shame. According to her diary, she had paid $150 for my number to some random dude that I was lab partners with. And then she blocked you after one text? What a waste of $150. She had Samurai follow my mom's car home, and that gave her my address. She couldn't access my Facebook as that was on total lockdown, so she worked off of tagged posts from my aunt to get my birthday. Jesus. It's really going deep. This is like Denko Saga levels of crazy stalkery. Go check that saga out if you haven't. I'm gonna link it on the end card. She had a rant about a picture of me kissing my 11-year-old female chihuahua. How she was jealous that there was
another bitch in his life.
Because she's a wolf, you see. There were also lists of every girl that I was friends with or halfway flirting with, and some that I didn't even know who they were. What the hell is halfway flirting? You do it or you don't. Schrodinger's Riz. Is it there? Is it not? Nobody knows. There was some dark poetry about myself and a freshman girl that I met earlier in the year. Oh, P's that singer that goes after freshmen. Gross. Apparently, this poor girl expressed in class to a friend that she, quote, was like so in love with me. Yeah, humble brag, no big deal. Chicks totally want me. Wolfie lost her mind over some random girl that I didn't even know. In her diary, she wrote angry poems about
Snapping her neck and how she would defend her husband and mate.
She talked about how
This girl was gonna ruin all the plans we had made.
this was a girl that I had never met, mind you. What do you mean never met? I quote you, freshman girl I met earlier in the year. Is this a different girl? I know I'm bad at reading sometimes, but this is why I don't really bother to absorb it. Sometimes it don't make no sense. You're just like, okay, now I met her, now I didn't. So yes, a girl I had never met who had my lunch and had a schoolgirl crush on me. I had no interest in either of them. Oh, I guess it is two different girls, okay. I don't give a shit, actually. It's just a bunch of humble bragging tripe, but whatever makes you feel better is great. I was called into the office and all of this was explained to me. The AP told me that she would not bother me again due to her actions here, and previously she was being sent to an alternative school and they would force her to go to counseling. Yeah, that's good, actually. Probably should have happened years earlier, but here we are. Samurai got in-school suspension, and there would be more if he followed or helped her stalk me or helped her obsessions in any way. Well, this is absolutely the weakest entry so far, but that's good. It gave me a chance to catch my breath. What's the weirdest thing that happened? Some deep and intricate stalking maneuvers, but considering the insanity that we came from, okay, good. I welcome it. Let's get into part number 4, and we'll see if it resolves things or devolves things. I know where my money is. Samurai and the Wolf. Final. Characters, same. Wolfie was annoying and twisted, but I honestly feel bad for her. Oh, this is like a retrospective, so good. She left forever. She was definitely not all there mentally. She acted and looked like she was about 8 to 10 years old, even though she was 17 or 18 when I knew her. She'd been held back 2 grades and just seemed sad and lonely. She drove everyone away with her fantasy Twilight world, and the only one who gave her any human contact was Samurai. And I don't really even know if that counts as human contact.
What a man! He's not human.
After being held back for 2 grades and acting like this the entire time, you'd think somebody would put 2 and 2 together. That kid needs a special class, or counseling at the very least, but hopefully both together.
Both is good.
Anyway, she told everyone that we were gonna get married and that we were in love and that she was pregnant by me, so on and so forth, and the school said no. She was so far in her fantasy that she couldn't see light anymore. Whatever, light's overrated anyway, it's hot and gross. Samurai, on the other hand, was a man driven by his loins. Throughout my time knowing him, he, hopefully it was a lie, would brag about the outlandish, intimate acts that Wolfie let him perform on her. What happened? You guys go ask him out?
It was like, ma'am, what are we doing? And she just started eating my fucking ass, bro, just going to town on that shit.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, it is permissible. That's what I heard. Naturally, as we were teenagers, the whole school would talk about it for a week. Yeah, not a lot going on at that school, huh? This gave the 2 attention for that week. People thought that Samurai had sex, and he could not get enough of that feeling. Even the negative, ew, bro, don't tell me about that kind of attention. And this almost became a proclivity of his, as he would constantly up the stakes. He's just parroting things back that he's seen in his adult anime cartoons.
It's called hen, and it's art.
If not for those, he wouldn't be creative enough. He'd be like, we did the kangaroo hop, where you jump on one leg and switch positions between bounces. It's like, dude, that doesn't sound like something that's real at all. How is that even physically possible? And he's like, if you have to ask, you'll never know. No big deal. It's just for us sex having guys. All right, awesome. Guys would constantly get mad at him for dating Wolfie and told him because they think that she has special needs. She definitely is. He would make horrific comments about how he likes that she looks so young and that she will do anything that he asks. Jesus, dude, I really thought we were gonna get off easy at the end, but OP's just got one last gut punch. Ow, dude, ow! He would laugh in their faces, hoping that they would hit him. I could never get a real read on this guy. I just think he wanted attention in any form and would use anybody in order to get it. Yeah, that's probably accurate, but let's kick his ass anyway. Upon Wolfie going to the alternative school, Samurai started a campaign called Tell OP Every Wild Act that he was missing out on. I was so tired of it that I just ignored him, and so did pretty much everyone else in the school. For a while, he did every song and dance he knew, tried to press every button that people had, but we were all tired of it. News of what the two did had gone out through school, and people just decided to shun them completely. And it worked. After a while, Samurai just sat there in his back seat, quietly. Excellent! We've finally broken his will! We are resuming normal operation! Mickey and I finished off our senior year in peace. Samurai was talked about at length for our 10-year. Ew, bro, you actually went to a high school reunion? Cringe.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
We looked him up, and he is in fact the same as he was in high school. His acne has gone away, but from what we could tell, he makes his living off of writing twisted fanfics and working at GameStop. It appears that he married Wolfie, and they had to have their litter without me. They moved to the northeast of the United States, so if you're ever in the northeast and hear a howl, she is coming to claim her mate. What a strange, twisted, horrible ending for a tale that, yeah, just completely went to places I never expected it to go. You might think that the ending is like a big L on Samurai and Wolfie's part, but Mickey and OP are the ones letting them live rent-free in their head for a decade, looking them up at the high school reunion. I don't know. Shouldn't you have moved past this point in your lives? That's all I'm saying. It was high school. It was a long time ago. People are allowed to be a little bit cringe. But I mean, obviously with the guy writing fanfics and working at GameStop, I don't know that he's fully grown out of it. But at least he's contributing something, which is more than I could say for most neckbeards. And also, are the kids his, is what I want to know. Because you did say they had a litter, right? Do they even look like him? Matter of fact, don't tell me. The mystery is more intriguing. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a wild one. And I'm digging for even more wild ones. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. You can support me monetarily on the Patreon or the YouTube memberships. Drop something in my PayPal if you'd like. All these links down in the description. I do appreciate if you decide to do them. $1 of your dollars is at least like 10, 20 of mine, so please, with sugar on top. But if you can't afford to do it, because I know times are tough, I do appreciate you for watching, especially if you've watched this far. Real MVP plays out here. I think I said earlier I'm going to link the Denko saga on the end card, so that's happening. And also, I want you to always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead and cut them open. It's going to be fine.